اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Shamsuddin Ogumiwa. I'm your host today. Welcome again. It's another Tuesday. I'm here. Welcome to Ramadan Conference online by the Old Kent Road Mosque, Muslim Association of Nigeria, Islamic Cultural Center. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you, all our audiences from all over the world again today to today's exciting, elucidating, and enlightening program. I welcome you all. I welcome our panelists, speakers, contributors, administrators, and a host of so many other people working in the background. As I've said, today is going to be exciting because we have some sheikhs that will be talking to us today. First of all, I have Imam Abdur-Rahman Sulaiman Adangba, who will be speaking on why the Qur'an. I also have our Imam, Al-Hajj Munir Hussein, who will be talking about our youth and our future. And of course, our moderator, as usual, our own in-house professor, our father, Professor Moshood Baderi, will be moderating those discussions. But first of all, some house rules. As you join us, please make sure you mute your audio so that you don't cause any interference. We are live on Zoom. We are live on Facebook. Everyone is seeing us. You don't want to be obstructing. If you want to call in and join us, you can call. Our telephone number is +44, especially if you're calling from outside the UK, +44 0207 237 0009. Again, that's +44 207 237 0009. Now, without much ado, I don't want to take our time. Don't forget, if you have any question, just raise your hand and we'll take notes, or you can type your question on the Q&A chat so that it can be picked up and it will be read to our lecturers today. Please, if you hear anything exciting, go on your Twitter, go on your social media, send the message about whatever you've heard that is exciting, and don't forget to use the hashtag ManUK Ramadan Conference. So I'll call on our brother, who's going to start the event for us with the recitation from the Quran. His name is Brother Shamsili Adisa. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو على كل شيء قدير هو الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور هو الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير والذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا النذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير فاعترفوا بذنب فسحقا لأصحاب السعير إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير.
Alhamdulillah, Brother Shamsili, thank you very much. Barakallah fiqh. May Allah reward you and your family. May Allah elevate you with the Quran. Thank you. The initial stage fright, I'm sure you learn, you pick up, inshallah, again. Barakallah fiqh. Well done. So yes, I will hand over now to our moderator, Professor Moshood Baderi. Bismillah.
Jazakum Allah khair jaza, Brother Shamsuddin. Viewers, both in-house and on Facebook, wherever you are watching and listening to us, I also want to welcome everyone to this session of our OU Who Believe. As was mentioned by Brother Shamsuddin, today we have two erudite scholars in-house, And as he said, it's really going to be exciting. The topics are usually also exciting. The first person we have who will be speaking to us is Sheikh Abdur-Rahman Sulaiman Adangba. Sheikh Sulaiman Adangba is a scholar of Arabic and Islamic studies. And actually, as I said, we are lucky to have him today. He's a certified Fadilatul Sheikh at Al-Azhar University in Cairo. He was certified in 1990. So he's an authority in Islamic studies and Arabic. And he had held many leadership positions in the Islamic community, the Muslim community in Nigeria. He was actually the personal secretary to Sheikh Adam Ali Luri till his death, rahimahullah. And he's currently the Imam of Adangba Central Mosque in Idimu. And he's the founder of Wikaya to Dua, institution center in Idimu, Lagos. So he will be speaking to us on a very, very intriguing topic, why the Quran. Now, the second person I want to introduce him also before we move on is our Imam Muniruddin Moyosore Ajikale Hussein. Imam Moyosore is also an erudite scholar. He holds a BSc Economics from Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria, Ilefe, and an MBA in Strategic Management from University of Wales here. And he is the Amir and founder of Al Muhsinun Islamic Center in Manchester, in the UK. He is the chief mentor of Minding and Mending. It's a youth organization, Minding and Mending, doing great work. It's a charity that focuses on children and the future of any community. He will be speaking on our youth, our future, when Alhaji Sheikh Sulaiman Adangba finishes. These topics are really very, very intriguing. So we should be all ears to learn and listen from the shuyukh who are here in-house. Sheikh Sulaiman, فليتفضل مشكورا.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. We give thanks and adoration to Allah who has created us and allowed us to witness Ramadan on earth. Ramadan being a carnival of Islamic guidance. May Allah continue in His infinite mercies to continue to guide us right. I'm the youngest in the house. When you talk of Sheikh, I'm the youngest. So, and I think you will spare me some little things that I may not meet up with what the Prof and his likes will have given to us. But once again, to everybody, I would say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I commend your efforts so well on what you have planned this year and you are doing it. The webinar itself alone will increase the knowledge of people far and near, and at the same time, it will make everybody understand that when something is not possible, another thing will be possible. In the Quran, I stumbled on a verse in Surah An-Nisa. I will be giving references though. I will help everybody to go and check the references themselves. In Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 81 to 83 now, we will see why should we go through other levels to attain what we want from what Allah has designed. So any design of Allah, from any action, on anything, we must be able to find our feet in making it possible for ourselves to go through another avenue to seek Allah's guidance and to seek Allah's counseling in whatever we do. Yeah, the topic today given to me is why Quran? Yes, why Quran? This is a question every mature Muslim must have written on the wall in his house. Why Quran? If we have all been going through this question every time, by today, our knowledge will have widened. Our understanding will have been embroidered. And at the end of the day, we will not have to lose our focus. Before we go, we're going to think of some three things. One, the Quran itself. Two, the human being that is going to use the Quran. And three, the necessities and essentials that will bring the human being to use the Quran or that will make the Quran be useful to the human being. Allah does not need the Quran. There's nothing he's going to do with it. It is meant for us. Allah has been sending messengers, right from Adam till Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were given books. In all the commandments, which is 25 in the Holy Quran, the very 25 fundamental commandments in Quran chapter 17, verses 22 to 36. Verses 22 to 36. You will find the 25 commandments that were outstanding. One was given to Adam, one was given to Noah, and so on, till it got to 15 on Prophet Isa, alayhi salatu wasalam, and 10 more were added for Prophet Muhammad. To the end. So why? What is the desire of Allah in giving us the Quran? So before I go, I've said it earlier, I'll just be giving you references so that we can go and read it. Number one, a Muslim must ask himself, Who is Allah? Allah is that omnipotent being that you cannot even describe how he is. But you have a faith that he exists. That faith, to many people, is doubtful. What is faith? Faith in Al-Akhirah. What is Akhirah? Faith in Al-Qadar. What is Al-Qadar? Faith in Prophet Muhammad. Yes, they said he came. We didn't say him. But something has to end and give power to your faith. And that thing is knowledge. So why Quran? Knowledge. That's number one. If we had come during the time of the Holy Prophet, if we had existed during his time, we would have existed and gone. There will still be something for people to learn from. And what he left behind is even more than Muhammad himself. If the book we read now is the theoretical Quran, then Muhammad is the practical Quran. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So seeing that and knowing that, we have to bear in mind that the only way we can understand Allah is knowledge. And the only thing that can strengthen our faith is the same knowledge. And that's why he said to the angels, when he wanted to create Adam, I know what ye people know not. So leave him, I've created him. And when he's going to start the revelation on earth for Prophet Muhammad, he said, Iqra, Bismi Rabbika alladhi khalaq. So now another question comes in. Is Quran a creation? So the professor knows that there are a lot of misunderstanding in that aspect. Is Quran a creation? Yes, it is. إِنَّمَا قَوْلُنَا لِشَيْءٍ. When we intend to do anything, إِذَا أَرَدْنَاهُ, we will just say kun. The Quran is automated. It's kun, and it is kun, and it is fire kun. So that again is another very, very vital question that we must know. No, now why did Allah now send the Quran? He said Allah created the world. Without us, the world will exist. Without human beings, the world will exist. Without ants, the world will collapse. Without plants, the world will collapse. Without every other creation, the world will collapse. But without human being, the world will exist. So why do we come and go? So why is the Quran a regulatory measure for us to learn from? Allah says in chapter 51, verse 56, it says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Yes, people will say, yes, Allah created us just because He wanted us to come and worship Him. I'm sorry, He said, مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ. I didn't want your rizq. I didn't want your food. I didn't want anything. وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ يُطِعِمُونِ. So what is the worship there? The worship there is what you can get to liberate others on your palm. At every night, you want to sleep and you check it. Who passed through this palm today and succeeded? The moment you don't have that, you don't know what the Quran comes to do in your life. And you don't even know why you are in this world. So at every night, the assessment of what you have done to one human being, just one human being, is the worship of Allah that you have just come to do. So, in that wise, we'll go again into Quran 25, chapter 115. It says, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. So why are we Why are we going back to Him? Do you think we have just created you for naught, and you are not going to come back to us and give us account of what you have done? What is the account? Salat? No. Siyam? No. It's private. My soul, between me, myself, and Allah, is private. Nobody can judge it. My salat, nobody can judge it. My iman, nobody can judge it. My ability to give money, how much I have before I give so much, nobody can judge it. If I go to Hajj, it's between me and him. But how does it affect? How does your going back to him have a meaning? When he says, وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تَرْجَعُونَ, do you think you're not going to come back to us? So the Quran, the whole essence of it is for you to acquire the knowledge of management. For you to acquire the knowledge of what? Management. The moment you are able to know, you are able to acquire the knowledge of management, you will be able to guide others aright, and the world will be a simple and smoothest place to live upon. In every country, all over the world, globally, people will say, no, 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 we have rights, we have rights, we have rights. The Quran has come to teach us that no one has a right. Right is automatic. Responsibilities are what Allah needed from us. My own responsibility to you is your automatic right. Your own responsibility to me is my automatic right. How do you know these things? So yeah, he gave that regulation in the Quran, and it looks like we are regimented, fine. But the regimentation has a wider scope. You can dance in it the way you want. So it is only when you do good to others that we are able to attain that worship that Allah has given unto you. And the only thing that can give you that knowledge of how to do it is the Quran. So with the Quran, every individual who must understand that when the professor knows whether that in Usulul Tafsir or Usulul Tafsir, that every verse of the Quran has 4 meanings directionally. It has 4 meanings. When you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, a learned scholar would like to teach you many other things from Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. What thanks and adoration belongs to Allah. We can give it some other meanings too that will make you understand it more than just Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So, but we're not going to that today. So, if you now understand that when you have the knowledge of how to deal with you have the knowledge of how to deal with others, then you are going to be one of those that are going to be respected on the surface of the earth. I hope where the Quran is a home where there is a spiritual light that will guide others into righteousness. Responsibility is what Allah needed from you, is not your right. Your right is the responsibility. The other person's right is the responsibility you give to them, and your right is the responsibility they give to you. If in any case you are seeking to have a right in the house, the right of the wife, the right of the husband, the right of this in the house, then you have a dismantled house. But do your duty. In every creation, there is equality and there is equity. So the Quran has come to teach us the equity of existence. So now, the human being now is outstanding. The Quran is outstanding. The essentials, what are they? There are 4 essentials. 4 essentials that every human must know. 1, existence. If you cannot finish it, I'll stop where my time permits. So 1, there is existence. Your existence has only 3 pages. The first page is written. You don't have anything to add up to it. That's your birthday. That page is filled automatically. Your last page is filled, even if you don't know it, automatically. You have only the middle page. What is the middle page? The middle page is not going to be you, but it's still you. All souls are one. All human souls are one. You may come from anywhere. The type of soul in your body is the type of soul in my body. So understand that when you touch that soul, when you touch that soul with anything that is wrong, you have touched the soul of your creator with something that is wrong. Because وَمَا أُوتِيتُمْ يَسَأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ كُلُّ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُمْ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Every soul belongs to Allah. Then you have the nafs. And in the nafs, we have the qalb. The qalb, medical practitioners will say the heart, but the qalb is the heart of hearts, where you store all that you have been doing since, all that you have been learning since your birth. Where you store them is the qalb of the qalb, the heart of hearts. It is like the CPU of the computer. Anything you put there, it will live there. When you want to tell something on your screen, just pick it, it will come out. So that qalb is the one that has to do with the mind, which is what we are going to feel in the pages in between the birth and death. And you cannot do it alone to yourself and yourself alone. It must be what you have done to others so as to gain the reward of what you are going to write in that book. So it is the CPU, and that is why the Quran is here. The Quran now has to come and tell us that we have to be a manager. The first essential is existence. The second essential is management. How do you manage naturality, things that are natural? Climate change. The government of the world will say climate change, climate change. I used to smile when they say it. I don't know what they are managing in climate change. I don't know. I don't know whether they want to change spring to autumn or autumn to summer. I don't know. Oh, the ozone layer. Oh, whatever. I don't know. But we are following them. We have no choice. Let them tell us anything. They are managing the climate and there are heavy floods. They are managing the climate and there are natural disasters. So how do you manage that naturality so that it will not come back to affect humanity in a negative way? The Quran has told you, how do you manage trees? How do you manage plants? How do you manage the sun and the moon when it comes into arithmetical calculations and astronomical calculations? How do you manage what Allah has implanted in the soil that is only the rain that will come and bring them out for you? Plants. How do you manage animals that are going to live on that same soil with you? Some that takes away all that you have used, and some that will bring forth the new ones that is going to work for you. So animal management, natural management, then Allah has made provision for every human being, and He kept it in the soil. So every government of every land has been given its own mineral resources to manage its people. 2 or 3 things will debar them from doing it. And the highest of them all is ignorance, which is what we call corruption now. So everybody has what would be satisfying them to make them survive without age. So how do you manage that? Then the subsection under that is the human resources themselves, the brain of the scholar, the brain of the medical practitioner, the brain of the lawyer, the brain of whoever, whatever profession you find yourself. How do you manage them to make them become effective and productive? That's number 2. So management. Number 3 is consciousness. But you cannot be conscious if you are not alert. You can never be alert when you are not aware. You can only be aware when you know there is a source for something and you know where it's coming from. So the Quran is the only book that has come to accomplish that for humankind, that there is a source for everything that comes onto this earth, which Allah has discussed 1,441 years ago, and we are just getting to know those things now. So consciousness, which is the third essential, is why the Quran has to be our companion. Yes, we have the Tertil, we have the Tenzil, we have the Tajweed, we have the Tafiz, we have the Tilawa. We used to do it in Ramadan. But if you go back to Surah An-Nisa, it says, "La tadabbaruna al-Qur'an." Why don't you stand and stop At the same time, you stand up and stop and think about just one verse and ponder. So in Ramadan, what we need to be doing best is what we are doing now. Let's stop and ponder on why Allah has said, this is the Qur'an. Kitabun anzalnahu. What was zalnahu? We sent it forth to you and we explained therein. We made it a criterion to give you the exemplary meaning of a lot of things. And we even moved it closer to you by giving you exemplary things that has happened before now and what is still going to be happening in future. And none will go out of the regimentation of Allah that He has created. So that number 3, consciousness. What? Let me digress a bit. We have ulama. This is Professor Baderi. There are a lot of prof here. There in London, here in Nigeria, all over the world. Have we for once come together to think on how we should have a think tank to manage our affairs? If everybody is going to work, must everybody be going to work to eat? Must we not have a home we can refer to when it comes into fatwa? Now fatwas are just anywhere. Everybody just come up and start doing a fatwa. It is not like that. Oh, it is the too old to run or the too young to run. They should be, younger people should run. Look, you don't get to the level of shuyukhiyya with just ordinary, I've read it. You must have the experience. Those that had the experience, those that had studied it, those that know this, if it is coming this way, it will end this way. Where are they? I think you have been doing it in Old Kent. I think you continue to do it. Those people, keep them in, call them BTT, the think tank, who will be coming back to give you, okay, this is this. Contemporary wise, not the old style of thinking. No. This new one, we will have to know what everybody is doing with science, because everything logical must be science and everything scientific is Quran. So, number 3, I want to flog that issue so much. Then number 4 is accountability.
Yes. You have 3 minutes now.
Yeah, number 4 is accountability. Those are the essentials. They are the necessity, they are the essential. Number 4 is accountability. Accountability is just a measure by Allah to let you know that I sent you there, go and dwell. When you dwell, do the needful thing. When you do it, come back and tell me what you have done. Accountability. And you can manage yourself now when it is not too late. The Quran says, Zahar al-fasadu fil barri wal bahr. That is, corruption is spread all over the land or whatever. And when he's going to end that by, it says, لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجَعُونَ, so that they can get back from what they are doing, which has been bad, or so that they can realize they are coming to tell me what they have done. With these 4 essentials, the only way out of your sheikh and with your sheikh to pass the exam is that you make the Quran your companion. The dhikr you are going to do with the Quran must be that of thinking and thinking and pondering on what are the essence of those verses. And lastly, you must always look for why, what is the desire of Allah in why I should hold the Quran, why I am a Muslim, why am I born to be a leader, why am I born to be a man, I have what to do to contribute. And it must not be about me, it must be about us. It must not be about I, it must be about we. It must not be about what I can achieve, but what I can leave behind for people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Sulaiman Adangba, thank you so much for that presentation, for reminding us about the importance of the Quran with so many philosophical points here and there. I mean, the crux of the matter is, I mean, the Quran, the main message of the Quran is to, think of the other. That is, it's not about ourselves. It's not only about worship, but also good deeds. And we find this, many parts of the Quran. Actually, Allah says this very, very clearly. That's the crux of the matter. In Quran chapter 17, verse 9, Allah talks about it specifically. If you look at it, Allah says, Inna hazal Quran yahdi lillati hiya aqwam wa yubashshir al-mu'minina alladhina ya'maluna as-salihat anna lahum ajran kabira. Allah says, certainly this Quran, it directs you to what is upright, and therefore gives glad tidings to the believers that any one of them who does good deeds, any one of them who does good deeds has a big reward with Allah. And it's very important that we appreciate that now, because a lot of the time people only think about ibadat, acts of worship, in the abstract. Acts of worship can only be meaningful if it is complemented by amal salih, that is good deeds. And that's exactly what Imam Adangba has been telling us. It's important that if you look in the Quran all through from A to Z, it's about our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with people, our relationship with the other, So if we know what it is for, the world will be a better place. Jazakumullah khairat jaza. Thank you so much for reminding us about that. I know there will be a lot of questions, but inshallah, we'll be coming to questions towards the end, biiznillah. Now, that will now take me to our second speaker, Sheikh Muniruddin Ajikale. I hope Sheikh Muniruddin is in house. Imam Ajikale. Oh, yes, I can see him now. Yes. So Imam Ajikale will be talking to us about our youth, our future. You see, this is also about the other. It's about the other. And I believe we'll be able to talk about this even in a practical sense, because it's looking about so many others. That is the children of so many others. So, which is quite essential. Our children, our future, our youth, our future. Bismillah.
Alhamdulillah. الذي أسعر فضل آدم على الملائكة إذا أمرهم بسجود له وصلوات الله وسلامه على هذا النبي الأمي المبعوث رحمة للعالمين جد حسن وحسين إمام الحرمين ابن السبيعين وعلى آله الطيبين وأصحابه المباركين جزا الله خيرا قومنا وجدودنا وقد معد لنا سبلا ومسالكا ريام جميع أساتذتنا ومعلمينا وشيوخنا وآبائنا وأمهاتنا ولكل من له حق علينا ولمن أصر بدعاء برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We thank Almighty Allah, and I'm especially grateful to the entire OU Believe crew, starting from my father, my mentor, my teacher, and my talkmate sometimes when he comes down to my level, Professor Masoud Adebayo Badiri. May Allah reward you abundantly. I remember at this time, my father, Imam Muhammad Tajuddin Abdul-Salam, and the entire committee behind the whole thing. May Allah reward us, as well as those joining us from all parts of the world. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I know I'm going to be having a challenge with time today, but I've talked to myself, and I'm going to confirm myself within the time frame there, inshallah. I won't be a disappointment, I promise my prof. I like to begin by recognizing and dropping a disclosure, which is to say that mine is just going to be a humble regurgitation of what I think I have been able to assimilate from the big scholars we've had in the house. For example, we've had Imam Abdur-Rahman Ahmed. He said, don't kill your children. Importance of education. We've had Dr. Zainab Ikengaloma. So intriguing. Brothers can help. And I'm sure everybody knows what our Prophet had to take away from that, which became infectious, and everybody had to go to his wife for a hug. I remember the following day, my wife was asking for a hug. I said, Prophet hasn't asked us to hug today. It was only yesterday. So we had Sister Miriam Limu talking about effective communication in marriage. and Dr. Abdul Latif Abdul talking about ethical leadership, and Dr. Abdul Ak Baker, challenges with youth identity. This is so much that has been said around the family as a unit. So I'm thinking, as a student of knowledge, what is there to talk about again? So I was, in fact, part of my disclosure is like I had to get in touch with a sister, a member of the crew, but I was, I could drop the topic for something else because it's been dealt with by people who are more, grounded than myself. But that courage just came from nowhere, and I decided to go ahead with it, inshallah. I would like to crave the indulgence of my prof again to make this presentation a special dedication to all good women in this world, starting from my mom, my lovely wife, the Onisadaki herself. She's Onisadaki because I think I married her the proper way, so I'm getting proper returns from that investment, inshallah. So my mother-in-law, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters as well. I'm dedicating this to them because the Quran says, I can just go into that straight away. Surah Al-A'raf 758, chapter 7, verse 58 said, وَالْبَلَدُ طَيِّبٌ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ وَالَّذِي خَبُثَ لَا يَخْرُجُ إِلَّا نَقِدًا كَذَلِكَ نُصَرِّفُ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَشْكُرُونَ. As for the good land, its vegetation comes forth by the permission of his Lord, while as for of that which is corrupt, poor and scanty are its fruits. This do we explain. This is how we expound the revelations, verses of the Quran in many different ways of those people who are grateful. The ballad, Allah is not talking about your corn, it's not talking about your potatoes, it's not talking about those. It's using them as a similitude there, and it's talking about a woman. If a woman is good, it is most likely 93% and 7 chances, 73% of the chances that the fruit that will come from there will be something that will be the signature of all eyes. So this is my justification for asking that this be dedicated to all mothers, and I'm sure you will agree with me on this, because I know how difficult it is to raise a female child. And look at, this is just setting the tone for the presentation. All of the lemons of this world, all of the anti-Zainabs, they've made my life easy. So it's just me going there and putting my seed in the soil. They've done the spade work for me. So I want to restructure the package, the title. It's our children, our future. So it's going to be, I think I need to localize it to bring it down to what our issues are here, because that has been broadly, it's been elaborately dealt with. So I just need to bring it down to our situation here. Since the pandemic, I'm sure, who has had, maybe you, maybe because I'm not in London, but I watch news, at least I'm sure to say that we have lights. It's now in Manchester. Some people refer to it as London. We have light, and I know. So I don't know who has ever heard about gun crime committed by those who say they are in the fire age. You know what the fire age is? It is always very difficult transiting from puberty to adulthood. And that is where the parents have the most challenge of their life. So what has happened to gun crime, knife crime? What happens? I don't know if we have ever taken a minute to think about it. Where are those boys? What roofs are covering them? Where are they? Because it means there's a super influence out there. When they are not in the homes, they go there and they pair group influence. This is why the mother is having a big role to play here, of course, with the support of women. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, as a student, I'm going to be regurgitating, like I said, what I've swallowed, what I've taken in from these big scholars. So you'll be hearing familiar Quran verses which have been cited to back their point. So one of them is, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa alaykumun nara wa quduha an-nas wal ijara alayha malaikatu qilasun shidadun la ya'suna Allaha ma amarakum wa yaf'aluna ma yu'marun. Who you believe? Save yourselves and your families from the fire, whose fuel is men and stones, over which are appointed angels, stern and severe, who flinch not from executing the commands they receive from Allah, but do precisely what they are commanded. Surah Al-Tahrim, Quran chapter 6, verse 6. What does that tell us? It means there is division of labor. Everybody in that household, by a modest generalization of this verse of the Quran, we have been told here that everybody, ku anfusikum, the mother is part of that family. Wa alikum. You, Prof mentioned a verse of the Quran, if I still remember. Alaykum anfusikum la yadurrukum man dalla idha tadaytum. The people you have, like I said in my opening comment, I said, وَلِكُلِّ مَنْ لَهُ أَقُنْ عَلَيْنَا. You have got a right on your wife, she's got a right, vice versa, and your children also have a role to play in that structured environment where you have the dad, you have the mom, you have that. Otherwise, what business did Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam have? All we know about is mother providing for the child. All we know is dad providing for the mom and the children as well, and the entire household. But then, if to bring my point home about the mutuality of responsibility in that structured environment, we have Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam talking about he had a responsibility to save his dad, his father, from fire. And he said, Ya abati, la ta'budu shaytana, inna shaytana kana lirrahmani asiyan. Ya abati, inni akhafu in yamsaka azabun min rahmani fatakuna shaytani waliyan. Surah Maryam, chapter 44. That's Surah Maryam. I think, that's Surah Maryam, chapter 19, verses 44 and 45. That's a child playing his own role in that family. Even though the general conception is, I have to rely on this, I have to rely on my dad, I have to rely on my mom. That's a role of the child. Look at the role Ismail played again as a good son. Look at how he waters down. Look at the chain. Look at how these things, the synergy works. Ismail got something from his dad, and he's saying this. He's saying this back to his dad when he was grounded and he was strong enough to travel with to have a walk with his dad. And the dad had to stop him at some point and told him about the dream he had. He said, Ya bunayya, ara fil manami an asbahuka fansuru maza tara. Look at, he had a role to play again there. I had in my dream. And what I saw there was that I actually slaughtered you. What do you think? And the dad, the son Ismail then humbly replied without any rudeness, politely answered his dad, for Alma Yomar, go and do exactly as you have been commanded. I don't know a child that will have in this 21st century, you will say, there's no lunch today, we have to do brunch later. It's going to be a lot of commotion in that house. And somebody saying to his son, I have been ordered to kill you. And he said, that's all right, because I know you won't lie in the first instance. You have taught me to believe you, and have taught me, I'm grounded enough in this religion to know that you will not do anything except you have been commanded to do so. And now, you know what you will do for me? Can you just cover my face so that the fatherly feelings will not be there, and you will not do something against the commandments of your Lord. So in the beginning, I like to allude to a very important hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when hadith is very popular. Just like I said, they are all regurgitations of what I think I've taken in. Imam Buhari has related, kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi wa rajulun ra'in wa huwa mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi wa rajulun ra'in ala ahli baytihi wa huwa mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi. And it goes further, والمرأة راهية على بيت أهلها وهي مسؤولة عنهم. Which means we all have responsibilities. They are still corroborating the prime, points there, that everybody has got a responsibility to look after each other. We've got to look after each other, because at the end of the day, we all have responsibility. In kullu man fis samawati wal ardi ila ati rahmani habdan laqad asawhum wa adahum addan wa kulluhum yatihi yawm al-qiyamati fardan. The one that I want to use, the part of it that is relevant to this, is the fact that everybody will come back to his Lord. Just him alone. Like you have just traveled from a country, you got down at the airport. When you are coming, while you are being checked in, it is one after the other. It doesn't matter whether you are 1,000 or 2,000 of you. So, because of that, everybody has got a role to play. So you have to look after me, and I have to look after you in return. Remember what Allah says again? He said, we are doing all of this because if it's a vicious circle, if I look up to you, at some point later, you will have to come back looking after me. Because I'm feeble now, you are strong. You lend me out of your strength, and when I become feeble, you will be strong and you can support me then. It all goes around. It comes around because it goes around. So Allah is saying, يوم تقلب وجوههم في النار يقولون ربنا يا ليتنا أطعنا الله وأطعنا الرسول وقالوا ربنا إنا أطعنا سادتنا وكبراءنا فأضلونا سبيلا ربنا آتيهم ضعفين من العذاب ولعنهم لعنا كبيرا. Allah Akbar. May Allah save us from there. If you fail to do the needful on the day of Qiyamah, when the faces of these innocent children will be turned in the hellfire, and they will say to Allah, Ya laytana, woe unto us, atana Allah wa atana Rasulah, would have just followed Allah and Rasulullah and our Prophet. But then we followed the great ones, our dads, our moms. What was the consequence? فَأَضَلُّونَ سَبِيلًا. They taught us the wrong way. So they now go further. The surah goes, the next verse says, رَبَّنَا, now that we cannot do anything about this, آتِهِمْ ضِعْفَيْنِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ وَأَلْهَنِهُمْ لَعْنًا كَبِيرًا. Punish them, give them double the punishment that you have prescribed for us today, and cost them in the way that you cost nobody in the past. You can see this mutual responsibility. Why is it so important? Imam Ahmad came here, said something about don't kill your children because of what you stand to benefit from that. A beautiful hadith, again, that you are very familiar with. إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاثة علم ينتفع به الصدقة الجارية ولد صالح يدعو له. You can see all this chain of consequences. When we say taqwa, we say consequences. They go together. Now, these are the immediate fallouts, depending on what decision, how you have looked after your child. It is the kind of child when إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاثة. We all know about continuous sadaqah, flowing sadaqah, we call it, and the knowledge that you have impacted that is still serving and being useful to humanity. Al-waladu, most importantly, al-waladu salihun yad'u lahu. If you did not do it, what you needed to do when you had all the power and the wherewithal to do it, then you'll be losing on this count now. Because when you die, the way you've raised your children is such a way that he doesn't even think about you. You've not let him know the need, the necessity, or the need for him to pray for you when you are no more. And that time, friends have gone. Those that are even indebted to you, that have not even declared that they are owing you, they've gone. It's your child, but now it's coming back to you. What you have sown is coming back to you exactly the way you sow it. Now, another hadith in the Rajula لا ترفع درجته في الجنة فيقول أن هذا فيقال استغفار ولدك لك. A man, the servant of Allah, will have his station raised in Qiyamah, in Jannah, and he will say, where is all this from? I know my salat and I know how much of it I did. So why am I here? And that voice for you call is the gifar waladika laka. This is the istighfar that your daughter, your children used to say when you are not around. Now, I think
3 minutes.
How many?
3 minutes.
Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. Yeah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Mani butliya min banati min shay'in fa'asani ilayhinna kunna lahu sitran min an-nari. If you succeed in bringing 2 children up, 2 female children up, you can be sure that kunna lahu sitran min an-nar, they will shield you from hellfire. Because among those, and I'm so proud, I've got 2 of them. So if one forgets, the other one will be able to. I'm trying to raise them in a way that I will be a beneficiary of this. Now, if we know all these are virtues and these are the benefits that we tend to gain from this, how do you produce such a child? It starts from the first day, because our first abode is inside our mom. And when we come out on the day of Akeka, 3 things you mentioned there, 3 things must happen before we name the baby. Give good name, and to Azibaha, and to Zawija. You mentioned these 3 things. So you have to give good education, and you have to be sure that they grow up as responsible. And the best time to do that, the very first thing that you hold the child is give him a good name. If you cannot name him, if I ask if there's a way I can get to Professor Badri's dad, why he named him Masoud. I'm sure it must have been out of a feeling of nostalgia that he couldn't get him Abdullah ibn Masoud. Now he now said something very close to that. Like somebody used to ask me, why are you Ajikali? I said, I'm Ajikali. I've not seen any houses you built. And I said, Ajikali, what I'm doing now, I'm building houses. I am building houses. I will mention this. I don't have to explain it in details. 4, 5, but Imam al-Ghazali has given us, he's tutored us around the 5 points, the way, his own suggestion of how we can look after our children in a way that they will be able to benefit from all of this. He said, Inna Allah khalaqa dunya kalbustani wa sayyanahu bi khamsatin ashiya. Allah in his infinite mercy created the world like a jungle, and he beautified it with 5 things. The very first he mentions there is al-ilmu, the knowledge that people of knowledge have. And he now say al-adilu, umara, and he said again, isharatul mustashara, nasihatul mustashara, and he says adawul amana. All of these things, adawul amana, is you give back to the child, get them when in that period of innocence, youthful innocence, get them to know. I came to, and I'm going to round up with that. I remember 2 years ago, or last year precisely, when I came to offer Tarawih at Old Camp Mosque, and I saw it's now my youngest friend now, Amir. Amir was everywhere in the mosque. He's everywhere in the mosque, climbing, and immediately what came to my mind was, I saw Hassan and Hussein. That boy will not grow up doing something else except he grew up in the mosque. He was raised around the mosque vicinity. He goes up. Mufti Meng said something very important. He said, do you know what it means? The day that you have your baby and you do Azan into 1 year, and Adhan and the Karma on the other. He said, it doesn't mean like he hears anything. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how far he has strayed, he will still come back to the asili. And I remember my mom, of blessed memory, he said she used to sing for me when she was looking after me. When I was that toddler, she would say, Aremu yo wo ko furufu, Aremu yo wo ko furufu. Okorufurufu was plain. Me Oriwaluyi, I came via a means which was plain. It means the prayer at that point will always come to pass. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Munir Adikali, thank you so much for reminding us about our duties, about our children. You know, that's one of the greatest trusts. What Imam Adikali is saying is that our children are a trust to us. If we want our future to be good, if we don't want to regret about it, we have to uphold that future, you know. And I want to refer you to Surah Al-Anfal, Quran chapter 8, to round that up, Quran chapter 8, verses 27-28. You know, Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, La takhunu Allah wa Rasul, do not be unfaithful to Allah and His Messenger. Wa takhunu amanatikum, and do not be unfaithful to your trust to Allah. Then after that, Allah says, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ fitna. You should know that your wealth and your children, they can be a source of fitna for you. That is, if you are unfaithful to the amana which Allah has given you to look after them. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. And with Allah is the greatest reward. So we have a duty to look after our children. They are a trust to us. And I mean, we have to keep that trust because they are future. May Allah make it easy for every one of us. Inshallah, I mean, we have taken the two lectures, both of them very good. I know the questions will be waiting. And before we go to our next segment, which is our mosque, we will take a short interlude. So we'll go to control room now for a short interlude before we come back for the segment on our mosque.
Alhamdulillah, I have to say the work that Oak Road Mosque has been doing over the years, as I experienced from my visits last year especially, is quite exceptional in a very difficult environment, really difficult space. I saw the property and the building, mashallah, you know, the brothers and sisters, the dedication that I've seen from everybody and from what we're hearing here today as well is undoubtedly is exceptional work. You know, you have outgrown the size of the building, the infrastructure that you're in to deliver what you're doing. And you know, I would urge anybody who's listening or who's watching that this is a project that needs immense support. There's no question about it. You know, especially for South London, Southeast London, I haven't seen anything of the scale of the work that you're doing there, from the various activities that you do for classes and education, for youth, for women, outreach work as well that you do in the community, as has already been mentioned. You know, the work that Oak Road Mosque is doing is on a par with many of the big, large mosques that we see across London and across the UK. It's just that you have your infrastructure and your premises aren't matching the level of work that you're doing. So I would urge anybody who's watching or viewing to support your cause, inshallah. And we will do everything that we can. As I've said before, you know, from our side, from MCB, any support that you need that we can do to help you, inshallah, we're always here to help.
Now, Jazakumullahu khairan. Welcome back, every one of us. Now we're going on to the other segment, which is our mosque, where we showcase our mosque and our different organs in there. Today, we'll be looking at two aspects. The first one is we have an elders group at the Old Kent Road Mosque and Islamic Cultural Center. Two representatives of the elders group will talk about the aims and objective and also the activities. We have two people. The first person, Alhaja Abdul-Ghani Adegboyega, then our mother, Alhaja Fashola. Normally, we give each group 5 minutes. So you'll be dividing this time 2.5 minutes between yourselves. Then secondly, we have another group, the CNMO, Alhaji Maruf Adioye, from the Council of Nigerian Muslim Organizations, is the Amir of CNMO. He will also talk about the objectives of CNMO briefly. So let me hand over to Alhaji Abdul-Ghani Adegboyega to talk about the formation and aims of the elders group. Bismillah. Please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We can't see your face. Please, let's see your face.
Mashallah.
Yes. We can only see your shirt now, so maybe you move out a bit, back a bit so we can see your face.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
Amen.
Glory be to Allah the greatest.
Alhamdulillah.
Allah,
you need to come, you need to move back a bit. You can't see your face properly. Back.
Okay, thank you. Alhamdulillah, sir.
Yes.
Well, may I start by saying Elders Group was formulated in 1995 by a collection of elders due to social concern. The concern was some of them are socially isolated, and apparently there is a need to form a group. The group was formed by some of the elected elders, and they started the management of Elders Group under the umbrella of MAN, and we enjoy their charity status. The Elders Group is, we convene the meeting twice a month, which is which is last Saturday of the month. The qualification of elders is age of 50, irrespectively. We don't attach any denomination. That is, everybody who is a Nigerian and an elder over 50 is privileged to join. It is a social forum as well as spiritual forum. The social forum is to enable them to grow spiritually. That is, I can identify some of our elders members who are not privileged to learn Quran, but by now, alhamdulillah, they are very, very fast in Quranic learning. And they can speak eloquently in the midst of people about the influences of Islam in the society. Elders Group goes all over the country because we always have two holidays in a year. That is 1 day tour and 3 days tour. 1 day tour is to give privilege to those who cannot travel during the year to go on a short trip. But in the 3-day tours, this has attracted a number of people from all over the world. All over the country. People come from Nigeria to join us. That's enabled me to remember Dr. Justice Okunla, who is always consistent before he deceased with the wife, and also Professor D.O.S. Naibi, who has been so instrumental in propagating Islam for the purpose of this group. Elders Group is a form of organization which have social networking all over the UK. We've been to so many places or venues propagating Islam. We've been to Nonington. The street is entirely Muslim-based in Nonington. I know it's about 180 yards without a single pub. It's the longest street in the UK without a pub. This is because of Islamic influence. We've been to them, we've been to Glasgow, we've been to so many places in the UK propagating Islam. Elders Group consists of male and female. We enjoy privileges of food and drink and socializing, asking for each other. Come and join us. You see, when they talk about Lagos and the Islamic heritage combined with the culture in our country. I think about it short here because I'm not a public speaker. This is a bit of a shock to me because the chairman insisted that I must come and speak
Yes, and you have done it very, very well.
Jazakallah khaira.
You have done it very, very well. Jazakumullah khair. Let's hear from our mother, Alaja Fashola, to speak a little bit about membership. Alaja.
Sorry about that. I want to see me. We have social interaction with other members of the community irrespective of their background. We organize biannual national and international trips to places of choice. We participate in national events, e.g. 2012 Queen Jubilee. We have regular health and well-being awareness. If you like to become a member, our membership form can be accessed online at www.manuk.org. The annual subscription is £60. The further information or inquiries, please contact the Elders Group Secretary on telephone number 0785 323 2480 or our chairman on 0756 426 112. Allah accept all our efforts.
Amen. Alaja, thank you so much for explaining to us how to be members, inshallah. And we pray that Allah will continue to be with you, the elders, and every one of us within the association.
Amen.
Now, let us take Alhaji Abdul-Maruf Adeoye, the Amir of CNMO, briefly, please.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody there, including Professor Obaderi, for all the good work I've been doing, and all the Nigerian Muslim community, Ramadan Mubarak. I know I've got only about 5 minutes to talk, but I will divide the talk into two. One to do with the CNMO, and the other one to do with the man itself in terms of community engagement. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The CNMO is an umbrella body represent the Nigerian Muslim organization in the UK and Ireland. The purpose of the CNMO is to seek to foster unity and cooperation among the Nigerian Muslim organizations. What we do mainly is to do with in terms of being one voice and speak for the Nigerian Muslim organizations on matters concerning Nigerian Muslims, be it in Nigeria or abroad. So we are a center for general charitable donations and contributions of Nigerian Muslim organizations to the deserving projects. We are also a center for general charitable services on behalf of Nigerian Muslim organizations to the deserving persons in matter of immigration, homelessness, prison, and detention. It's a body for activities in order to achieve the maximum results. In terms of coming together, we are able to get more in terms of synergy. We tend to increase the community awareness and networking through publications of periodic e-bulletin. And also, we tend to have general meetings on a quarterly basis. In order to get the Muslim viewpoint out, we sometimes collaborate with the bodies like MCB, and we corroborate their work sometimes. CNMO have its own website whereby you can, which is www.cnmo.uk, whereby it's under, currently we are updating it to have all the resources and things that you can refer to. Among the major things that we do is to promote capacity building and growth of our organization members through training, workshop, and surgery. The new tenure, of which I am the Amir, that started in February this year, is looking into a real change in the community. And as a result of that, we try to make sure that we maximize the benefits of our community. And we are about to roll out some of our programs that includes Zakatu al-Mal, which is the zakat that's based on the individual wealth. We are looking into Wakaf endowment, which is the kind of forever giving and rewarding. We are looking into Islamic finance based on the halal investment and mortgage. Also, in terms of, we have the Council of Imams. And for our Council of Imams, we are trying to look into Imam Pension Fund and how our Imams can be coming together in terms of Imams Union and Imam Conference in terms of capacity building as well. So in carrying out all these things, we need, even though we are in organization members council, we want those people who are listening to us at the moment to make sure that we have the organization to join us. And in terms of, if you're an individual, we still need you in terms of, we are looking for talents and skills. We need your time in order to be able to carry out this wide ranging of work that we are doing.
1 minute more, please.
Now, within the 1 minute I've got now is about man community engagement. The man has always been part of CNMO right from day one. We started the whole thing at Man Old Country Mosque there in about 24 years ago. And man has been supportive to us as a body. And in terms of the community engagement, man have done quite a lot of things. Among those things is to hold the interfaith orientation visits in around 2014 under the Tony Blair Foundation. They've carried out the London Conference on Islam and World Peace, again, in order to bring everybody together. And that was done in 2016. And they've done a lot of other things to do with Visit My Mosque that started in 2017. In doing all these things, they were doing it in line with the Islamic principles, along the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have told us in the Quran 3:103 that we should hold fast together by the rope of by the rope which Allah stretched out for all of us, and be not divided among ourselves. And also Allah has commanded us in Quran 5:2 to cooperate in righteousness and piety, and not to cooperate in sin and aggression. What can be more righteous in these holy months out of piety, among other good deeds, than to contribute to the building of Allah's house with the hope of getting multiple rewards as promised for this month, and especially tonight is the 20th night of Ramadan. So all I can say is for everybody to please continue to keep yourself and you. All I can say for now is, being today is the 20th night of the Ramadan, is we are aware of the Old Country Mosque that needs to be rebuilt. And we are calling on everybody to join us in doing these things, especially make your intention this period of Ramadan. Do whatever you can do during the Ramadan period. But for the mere fact that you make your intention today, that you want to contribute and be part of building the mosque for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be getting reward for any future payment you pay afterward. So please join us in making sure that we build this mosque, and inshallah, as Allah promised, we will have the reward of it both here and the hereafter. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair al-jaza, both the elders group and CNMO. Thank you so much for the contribution. Now we'll go on to question time. Inshallah, we have really listened to two, beautiful presentations. The two imams are still in-house. So anybody who has questions, please, control room, we can start regulating the questions now. Bismillah.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. As usual, we'll be taking questions, one from the hands raised and one from the Q&A typed. So the first question we'll be taking is, it says, would taxpayer get same reward as someone given money in Sadaqah for their money used to finance welfare package, that is benefits? And then the person asks two questions. The second one is, would cheating government, that is tax evasion, result to sin, even though government's law are differ from Allah's law?
Okay, I will answer that. In a short, you see, a lot of the time people ask that question. Every Friday when we go to the mosque, we hear the imams will read to us, Inna Allah ya'amurukum bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah command you, to do justice and to do good, and also to do good to people, to your relations. And he prohibits you from all ills, vices, and rebellion. Now, regarding cheating, Muslims are prohibited from cheating. In relation to, people want to use excuse to say that, well, it's a secular state and therefore, no matter what, Islam prohibits teaching. Allah prohibits you from all evils and vices. If you cheat, the state is a welfare state. If you cheat, you are denying other people who are really entitled to the resources. And you know in your mind that you are cheating. So Islam does not encourage that. Islam does not encourage that at all. Now, the first one, the payment of tax is not a religious obligation, but you have to follow the law of the land. As we say, Allah says, Ati'ullah wa ati'ur Rasul wa ulil amr minkum. You should follow the rulers of the land. If you're in this country, you have to follow the laws of the land. You pay your tax, it's being a good citizen, but it's not a religious obligation that you will expect to get, a reward from. The only reward perhaps maybe you might get from that is because you are fulfilling the law. You are doing what Allah has commanded you, that you should obey the law of the land, But the way, what you give tax for is for the government to be able to do certain things to make life easier for everybody. It's not a religious obligation, but then you have to do it and you don't have to cheat on it. So we need to take that on board. Wallahu alim. So further questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
I thank our father, Alhaji Aji Konle. My question goes to him. Thank you for this, our children, our future. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, we are listening.
Oh, okay. And thank you for letting us know that we all got responsibility to look after each other. But I'm taking you to another level. I want to ask you a question about we women. According to what they said about the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was one of these written that said that the Messenger of Allah said that we women should give charity because we form the majority of the people in the Jahannam. And a woman asked the question, why? And the Prophet said, he answered her that because we women, we complain too much, one. And the second, we women are ungrateful. We're ungrateful to our husband. even if my husband treated us 29 days well, and he missed one day, we will still complain that we've never seen anything good from him, and which is the case for most of us women, except those that Allah has guided. How can you help us to help ourselves that we will not feel the hellfire? Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. The story starts all from the very beginning. We have to go into marriage with consciousness. We have to marry for the right reasons. The four principles guiding that. Then I like to bring this illustration if it's relevant. A man had 2 children, both of them girls, and he said they graduated. They became they were at the peak of their careers. One was whatever the man wanted him to be, and then it was the man's 70th birthday anniversary, and they rolled out a big party for him, and they had this surprise gift for him. One was holding in his hand, for example, and for the purpose of this discussion, like a key to a Bentley car. Then the other one had just built a house, and he said, "I want that. This is close your eyes, open your hand, open your eyes now." Then he found a key in one of his hands and the key to the building in the other. And he said, "Oh, they were all over, rolling all over, and full of gratitude." And the man said to them, he said, "وَأَوَّلُ إِحْسَانٍ إِلَيْكَ تَخَيُّرٍ لَمَا جِدَتَ الْأَعْرَاكِ بَعْدٍ قَفَافُهَا." The very first gratitude that you need to show is not to me, but to your mom, because I made a very conscious takhayyurim. I selected my woman, because women are not the same. So if you start well, but as a general principle, people tend to be different. We have bad examples. We have good examples, like the verse, if anybody fears and he knows that he's going to meet his Lord someday, he will do his own duty, in helping the husband and not be the naggy wife that you just spoke about. Every other person has paid dower for his wife. But why is my wife? Why do I call her Unisadaki? Because and I'm getting what I need from there. If you married because you love the one, it's not for the reasons that we marry these days, that you even perhaps know more than I do, then things will be right. Just by nature, even men, it works both ways. You have men who can never be satisfied. Food on the table, this and that, they will still continue. If I got the question right. So, but every single person will get a reward for what he brings forth on the table in that matrimony. Because Allah says, وَلَا تَتَمَنَّوْا مَا فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بِهِ بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَىٰ بَعْضٍ لِلرِّجَالِ نَصِيبٌ مِمَّا اكْتَسَبُوا وَلِلنِّسَاءِ نَصِيبٌ مِمَّا اكْتَسَبْنَ. So it's just about whoever you are, from when you are being raised. You are raised to be who you are, and you can't be somebody else. So I think it's about prayer. Will do a lot of it, and the friends that we keep as well, plays an important role. Well, I know I've got Prof there. So
Jazakumullah khairan jaza. I mean, you see, there are many hadith like that, and a lot of time people misunderstand these things. It does not necessarily have to be so. For example, there's an hadith which some people will, when people are doing, we have a lot of, divisions. People will say that the Prophet has said that the Ummah will divide into 70 or 71 and things like that. All those hadiths, they have to be understood in context, that they are warnings. They are warnings. It does not necessarily, they are not predictions. They are warnings that we should prevent ourselves from. And as you rightly mentioned, even men, there are men who, can also be very bad. So if you hear that, believing women will always take those warnings and prevent themselves from being within those categories. They will always be within the mu'minat wal muhsanat, and do what Islam encourages. And as Adi Kali mentioned, prayer also can do it. And we should train our children. It starts from the beginning. We should train our girls as we train our boys, so that they're able to appreciate, the teachings of the Quran, as Imam Adangba mentioned earlier. So may Allah guide us aright, inshallah ta'ala.
Yeah.
Further
So
question?
the next question is for Imam Adangba. It said, what will you say is the best thing about having the Quran? And then a related question, it says, why is it recommended to read the Quran, and why is it recommended to have tafsir in Ramadan?
That's a very funny question. You see, before you can say because you don't understand Arabic, you'll not be able to read the Quran. That is not in existence anymore. Understand the text of the Quran in other languages. But why do we have to keep the Arabic? We have to keep the Arabic because people can become diabolic and start to give meaning that does not exist. Yes, and the second thing is Arabic language is a very big and vast language. It has about 18,400 vocabularies. And the next to it is English, which has 5,400. I'm sorry, the professor knows better than I do, but in that field. So you cannot give the exact meaning of what the Quran is trying to say in other languages than you just trying to look for something that will be closer to it. So that is that. Then in reading the Quran in Ramadan as tilawa, tafiz or whatever, it is ibadah in itself. It is ibadah. You read the Quran, or all the type of readings that you might involve yourself in is just ibadah. And the tafsir is the highest rank of the ibadat, because in tafsir you listen to the exegesis of the Holy Quran, where they give you the meaning, where they give the focus of what you are intended, you must know from the meaning of what the Quran is trying to give to you. And the scholar who is giving you the meaning must be able to align what he is trying to give you the meaning with what is happening currently wherever you are staying. Look at this plague, look at the pandemic. Quran chapter 4 verse 82, 83 will tell you that even if there is a plague, even if there is a calamity, even if there is anything, that does not stop you from looking for avenues to come close to your God with that calamity that is on ground. So when you can get closer to God, then even the hadith of the Holy Prophet that now comes with the context that if a mu'min now dies in calamity, he dies as a martyr, will be used upon you if you die in that instance. So it is good that you listen to the Quran, even listening alone, not even reading it. Listening alone will calm your nerves. Listening alone, you know that it is a word that is coming from no other person than Allah, the Creator. That is the essence of the Quran in Ramadan. And we can also do tafsir outside Ramadan, but because everybody is engaged in one thing or the other, excuse me, we don't have time. So we can please.
Sorry.
Bro, please click over.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Tafaddal, complete it.
So you see, after Ramadan, we could organize a special tafsir classes for people who are interested to go deeper into what the Quran, the meaning of the Quran is. It's beyond what everybody is saying. And Alhamdulillah, the world is embracing Islam the more. And there's a verse in the Quran that says, "Izaja and Nasrullah wal Fatah." That is when the victory comes and the opening is around. What is the victory? That is, Islam will come to overtake the world. And the opening comes. People will flush into Islam in groups. He said, Fasabi. The Fasabi there is that you should glorify Allah. You can't glorify what you don't know. You don't even know the might of what you are trying to glorify. You don't even know the might of what you are trying to glorify. So you have to make sure that your level of wisdom, intelligence, and education is higher, so that you can accommodate that lot of people coming in, so that you don't give them what does not belong to them, because you will send them back to them.
Thank you so much. Imam Adangba. I mean, as you rightly mentioned, for example, at the Old Country Road Mosque, we do Tafsir al-Quran every second Sunday of the month, even outside Ramadan. And when we follow it up, I mean, during Ramadan. So you can do Tafsir anytime. May Allah accept it as ibadah for every one of us. Further questions, please.
Azizat Olawumi, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm Toyib Orekoya, a member of Abdur-Rahman, as well as a member of the Elders Group. I want to first of all commend the Muslim Association of Nigeria for what you are doing about the Elders Group. I want to say that group is marvelous, considering their warmness, their brotherhood, accommodating other members from other associations. And that is what Islam preaches, that we are all from the same Ummah. And I want to commend the leadership of that group as well to keep having their hands open for more members from other groups to join in. That is for the Elders Group. The second one is for the, what do they call them? The Muslim, I've forgotten the acronym, CNMO.
Okay.
My question is, what is their relationship with MCB in the scheme of things, in decision making, in policy making for Muslims in Great Britain? I really want to get to know more. What do they do? How do they collaborate with MCB? How do they protect and promote the interests of Nigerian associations in that group? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will give two people just brief, comments on CNMO, because it's very important. I mean, the Imam, Imam Abdul-Salam, was a former Amir, was a foundation member of CNMO. He might have, institutional knowledge of that. And then the current Imam, Alhaji Maruf Adiwe, what is being done now in relation to MCB. So Imam Abdul-Salam.
Prof, before we go on, let me just add a question that I think is related so that they just take it together and that's it. The question says, what is CNMO doing in encouraging other associations who are not registered to be part of the great body? So,
okay, let's see, Imam Tadbir Salam, your institutional knowledge in relation to the relationship between CNMO and MCB. And then we'll come to Alhaji Maruf. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I will leave our relationship with my current Amir, because my current Amir has been representing CNMO throughout for almost 5 years in MCB. He knew very much about it.
Okay.
To the second question, we are trying all our possible best to make sure other organizations are joining us. The only fact is that the pay member, we are not dealing individually. We want every organization to join us. For instance, we started paying the annual subscription £500 many years ago. And when we feel that not every organization are capable to pay it, then we move it to 400. From 400, and we lose it to 200. Even now, because we want all other organizations to join us, we have just decided to move it to 100. So this will allow other organizations to come in. Organizations that are having over £20, 20,000 in their account and they cannot pay 200, okay, fine, let us go to 100. Now that is to what extent we are trying our possible best to get them.
You have really done very well. Dr. Alhaji Maruf Adiwe. Alhaji Maruf is the current Amir. Bismillah.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. In terms of relationship between CNMO and MCB, we are pioneer member of MCB. We started MCB together about 23 years ago or so. And we've been a member since, and also we've been represented at their National Council ever since. And we also encourage other organizations who are the CNMO members. Whether you are CNMO members or you are not CNMO members, we encourage them to be member of the MCB as well, because the membership of MCB is into, we have the affiliated members and who are national members and those one who are just local. CNMO is national representative for the Nigerian Muslim community. MAN, for instance, is an affiliated body as well, but not at national level. So we've always encouraged all the organizations to be part of it. And the reason why we encourage them is the mere fact that the benefit they can derive from the MCB as well. And also when it comes to the issue of coming together and make decisions, we've always find ourselves, myself especially, as the only representative for quite a number of years, when we keep on telling our people to come in and join. Until when MAN come in as a member, MAN is a member now, alhamdulillah. Ramon is a member now, alhamdulillah. Jamaat Islamiyah is a member as well. So we keep on encouraging organizations to come in and join. And our contribution to the MCB is mainly to do with anything to do with whatever. We are Nigerians. We see things differently. Our own is different. But when it comes to the national body, okay, we let them know about what our own needs as a Nigerian, and they put it together in order to deal with the government in any area. So that's what it is. The questionnaire for any further information, you can contact me directly on 079 579 30437. And inshallah,
we can take one more question because we just have 5 minutes to go. One more question. Yeah.
Apology for those who won't be able to take their question. We have so many people. If we can just allow, there is somebody, Abibat Maruf. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Hello, Abibat Maruf.
Yes, I'm here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa
I'm from the US, and listening from the US. I do really appreciate what you guys are doing, and may Allah continue to be with you guys. And the masjid a successful story for all of us. My question is actually two, but it should be much more easier. The first one, let me ask the simplest one. The simplest one is, my wife has an issue with killing ants in the house, especially during this Ramadan period. We don't have ants, but for some reason, they came around of late. So what's the Islamic injunction on that? That's one. The second part has to do with doing good to, because I can't remember the ustaz that talked about family, husband and wife and things like that. So what's the, when you find yourself as a child wanting to do for your mother, and your mother is always hesitant about, I don't want you to do this, you know, I know you're struggling and things like that. But at the same time, you see other family that are close by, and you see how their kids, or she sees how their kids are taking care of them. But at the back of your mind as a child, you always feel guilty, like you need to do more for your mother. The dad is late. So what's you guys advise in terms of making our family, our mother especially, happy and feeling at home, even though the mother stays with the child?
Okay,
those are my two questions.
Yeah, I will divide the two questions. Alhaji Imam Sulaiman Adangba, can we kill ants that are really pestering us in our homes?
You can kill ants, you can kill flies, you can kill mosquitoes when they are disturbing you.
Exactly.
Because if they are going to harm you, it will disturb your deed. If you allow your deed to be disturbed just because you want to kill ants, I don't know, you have no reason. So you can kill ants, you can kill mosquitoes, you can even kill snakes that come into your house trying to harm you.
That's right. It's a good question. You know, Muslims want to make sure that they are doing the right thing. Anything that can cause you harm, I mean, you can kill them.
Maybe the questionnaire has questioner. Maybe the questioner has a confusion that when you are in Ihram, so
okay,
it's not a Ihram, this is not in Hajj. So
exactly. It's kind of related to that, because when we in Hajj, you say you cannot do this and you cannot do all of that.
When that's when you are in the Ihram situation.
In the Ihram situation, you can even kill a mosquito. But aside that, you can kill it.
That's right. And now the second one, Ajaji Khalid, this relates to your topic. You know, our mothers, sometimes our mothers are really very humble. I mean, they will say, oh, no, so now, how do you deal with that? How do you find a way of encouraging the mom to know that it is their right for the son or the child to take care of them?
Inshallah, it's a simple one. She has every right to take. You have to. I can see there's a gap. There's a possible gap in communication, or maybe we have to find out if mom has got something she's nursing and she's not disclosing to you, why she wouldn't want to take. Because I find it quite bizarre that a mom will refuse a free gift from a son, from her son. So I don't know if we have to find if she's having something she's not pleased with, and because she doesn't want to make you uncomfortable, she's not saying it, and she's expressing that by refusing the things you bring for her. And it's not all the time that you give her money. You can convert that into things that she would use. Mom, I've bought this for you. You have done this. She can't definitely ask you to go and throw them again. Wallahu alam.
Jazakumullah khairan jaza. You know, our mothers have a right. These are orders of the Quran. And you can do it even in a very nice way. You know, tell mom that you are just doing your duty. Quote the hadith of the Prophet to them. That the Prophet says that, I mean, the Al-Jannah of the child is at the feet of the mother. And I'm doing this in order to get Al-Jannah. Which parent would not want her parent who has children to go to Al-Jannah? She will take it happily. Except, of course, I mean, if mama is doing this sincerely, maybe mama sees that perhaps maybe, I mean, you are still struggling or you are still struggling and she doesn't want to really add a burden onto you. You know, so you just have to try, and I have seen it. Mothers sometimes are really very humble in terms that they don't want to harm their children in that regard. You know, before we came to the UK, in those days before my mother died, our mom will come to us. She used to visit us, even though we were not really, I mean, struggling. When food is prepared, you know, we try as much as possible. My mother will be served first, and then she will never eat the food.
That's understandable.
You know, so there was nothing. There was nothing like no. So you find out that, I mean, mothers are like that. So just talk to her, and then, I mean, Allah will. Now,
can I keep you one small thing, sir?
Yes, please.
In a situation where you have your mother living with you and your family, you have to be very, very wise. She may want something from you, but because she doesn't even want to hurt your wife, eventually hurting you, she will go away from all those things that she doesn't like. Try as much as possible to go deep down and touch her heart. So, however, if it is the wife that has anything to do with her, please reconcile them, because that is the only way you can get your agenda freely. So in most cases, it does happen that like that, and it is when it is our own mother, not our wife's mother. So please watch that too.
Jazakumullah khairan jaza. So we've run over a little bit, but we'll round it up. Our Ya Ayyuhal Ladina Amanu today, as I know you'll be expecting, based on what we have heard and everything today, I've chosen the one in Surah Al Imran, Quran chapter 3, verse 102, where Allah says, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Allah says, oh, you who believe, be conscious of Allah, fear Allah truthfully, and do not die except in the state of being Muslims. So it's very, very essential that we bear this in mind, and may Allah continue to, improve us in faith, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Jazakumullah khairan to Alhaji Imam Sulaiman Adangba, and Jazakumullah khairan
almost every
Munir, and all our scholars in the house. And I'll hand over back to our brother Shamsuddin Ogumuiwa to sign us off. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Thank you ever so much, Prof. You've done a wonderful job, and I want to thank our scholars for such a elucidating lecture that was given us today.
Hello.
I want to thank all our technical team that were providing backup and providing support underneath. Above all, I want to thank you viewers who have joined us from all over the world. Don't forget, our Old Kent Road Mosque is our mosque. It's our masjid. It has to stand. And inshallah, with the help of you, that house of Allah will be the beauty, the pride of London. Inshallah, bi qudratullah. Thank you for joining us on You Will Believe today. Tomorrow is another day, and we are set to have other refreshing lecturers doing their presentation tomorrow. Please join us. Get your friends to join us and share anything that you learn here freely. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. When we say Islam is a realistic religion, it means it can be practiced everywhere and in every situation. The Old Kent Road Mosque and Islamic Cultural Center, Muslim Association of Nigeria, UK, MAN UK, looks forward to you, your family members, friends and loved ones, joining our live online broadcast of soul-inspiring programs throughout the month of Ramadan. First, in our daily program, O You Who Believe, which comes to you from 6 to 8 p.m. London time every day from Mondays to Thursdays, we will be featuring distinguished scholars from all walks of life sourced from different parts of the world, and of course, including our own in-house erudite scholars. These respected scholars will be taking us through an array of current issues and Islamic perspectives on different topics.
Do join our online weekly Jummah reminders from 2 to 4 p.m. UK time every Friday. It is of great benefit to everyone. Our Tafsir al-Qur'an is a step-by-step guided journey throughout the verses of the Holy Qur'an. We'll also be live online from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time, Saturdays and Sundays.
It is always a spiritually fulfilling session, and you get to see our mosque as the hub of activities for the larger community.
This is a chance to be part of the Old Kent Road Mosque and Islamic Cultural Center, MAN UK Rebuild Project. May Allah bless you abundantly as you join us.
Ameen.